It's 6 o'clock. We're going to call this meeting to order. We're going to call this meeting to order, please. And we will start with the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
I'm always sorry for the crowd when you ask it. They're just so excited.
I want to welcome everyone to our Mason County Fire District 12 welcomes all of you to our new hall. It's new in spirit, and I just wanted to welcome you to the People's House because it is your house. Okay, on that note, Mike, you have something?
It's Diedrich's birthday, and I think we should all sing him happy birthday. All right, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Diedrich. Happy birthday to you. Awesome. All right.
Okay. Let's start. If we have any guests here that would like to introduce themselves, please do so now. I know we have Commissioner Severance from West Mason down there. And we have Steve Dunkel, our county treasurer, and our what? Auditor. I'm sorry, Steve. And we have Sheriff Sperling, and I know I'm missing some, and Chief Wheelander is here also, thank you.
Yeah.
And for West Mason,
John Taylor.
and Bob Burbridge, and Tammy
Right.
from Emergency Management are all here tonight. Anybody else that I missed?
Pam right there in the front.
Oh,
Nicholson
Pam
and Associates.
and Ashley from Nicholson and Associates are here also, and I'm forgetting the gentleman. Al Work. Okay. All right. Okay, with that, let's have the roll call. Go ahead.
Commissioner Trina Young,
Here.
Commissioner Steve Ingram,
Here.
and Commissioner Dave Purcell.
Here.
All right. Adjustments to the agenda. We do have a few. We had a few more bills that came in, so the vouchers are from vouchers number 42 to 78 instead of 68, and the total amount is actually $91,865.88. And we did not print them out, but the vouchers are all available on our website. Anybody that wants to look at them can go online and look at them. If you don't have computer access, see us after the meeting and we'll make you copies. So we want to make sure they're available for everybody. So at this point, approval of the minutes. Val, do you want to? I guess we don't need to read the minutes. Okay, again, the minutes are on the website also. So I would entertain a motion from the commissioners to approve the minutes and the vouchers.
Joe, I make a motion that we approve the minutes of Wednesday, July 24th, 2024 meeting, as well as voucher numbers 42 through 78 in the amount of $91,865.88.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, a motion, all in favor say
Wait,
aye.
I got one, I want to,
You got one?
voucher number 63, the U.S. fire equipment.
Yes.
That is for, Chief, what is that all for?
Just a minute. It's for 63?
Yeah, the 55,000.
Yes, that is for several different pieces of apparatus. Tender 12-1, which actually came to $26,000. That was the most expensive to repair. Here you go. Would you like to actually see the bills? Or do you want me to just explain? Okay,
I was just curious why,
okay.
why they're so high.
So Tender 12-1 had the most things wrong with it. It had a lot of, along with the radiator system, it took a radiator, 2 cooling lines were missing.
Two coolant lines were missing?
Yes, they weren't even on there. The valves were shut off. The brakes, the rear axle brakes were welded to the brake drums, so we couldn't even move it. So it ended up needing brakes, it needed drums, several air leaks. Trying to think what else. I mean, there was so much wrong with it. It took, the front seals were bad. It took, let me see what else. I mean, you name it, it was wrong. The kingpins, both kingpins on the front end were wore out. Bushings were wore out on the rear suspension. So that's just the one. Plus all the filters and everything else that went with it. And then A12-1 is on there, and that is our current ambulance that is sitting outside, and that's $14,017. There was everything had to have new batteries in it. Nothing would crank over fully by itself. And so it took new brakes in the back end when they went to check them and removed the brake pads. They fell apart on it. It was metal to metal. The side-to-side sway brace on the rear end wasn't even connected.
Why would all this stuff be wrong?
Yeah, because there had been no maintenance done. Nothing that, according to U.S. Fire, Lloyd, the owner, and he made a statement to the FBI to that fact, that there were still filters marked with 2018 on. So, I mean, it didn't even look like oil had been changed. And he had said that he had never seen apparatus ever in this bad a condition. So,
The total roundabout cost for the vehicle repairs altogether, it was
it's going to be around $82,000 when we're done.
$82,000.
Yes. Engine 12.3 is up there now. We're having problems getting it electrically to go into pump. With 2 people, you can mechanically put it in the pump. So they're working on that, and the cab lockdowns are both leaking oil, so they weren't really locking the cab down in the down position. Tender 12.4 still does not start, and it needs new tires all the way around. So once those 2 are done, that's our last 2. We're actually not in too bad a shape, but it will cost at least $82,000.
A lot of money.
Okay, and I have one other question. Voucher 64.
64. Verizon.
Verizon, why is that $11,000?
That's the government cell phone contract that the prior administration had, and they hadn't paid on it in 5.5 years. So that's all the iPhones, that's the hotspots, which one of them is still in the Explorer that Kelly drives. And then one's in the ambulance that we have out here. The other one is in the ambulance that's sitting at my place that we're gonna discuss tonight, and which will be removed, but. So that was just to catch us up to date.
Okay,
Any more?
that's it, that's enough.
Steve, you have any?
I have no questions,
Okay.
Madam Chair.
All right, a motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes and the payment of the vouchers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, Commissioner comments. I'm going to start. First of all, I would like everybody to stand up that spent time down in this hall cleaning up. Please stand up, everybody. I'm going to miss somebody if I try to name you all. They deserve a hand.
For those that can't tell, the whole bathroom is standing up.
Ye-
Very tall.
Yes. These people have put in, I'm going to say hundreds of hours, because that's definitely what it feels like, cleaning this place up. And the mess that it was in when we walked in here was atrocious. And I believe there was, what, 7,000
A little over
pounds
7,000 pounds of
of
garbage.
garbage hauled out of here.
Went out of Station 1.
So, and yes, Clay did all the hauling for us. Thank you, Clay. But it was the most horrible looking place I've ever walked into, and what it looks like today is like night and day. So I really thank all of you guys for your hard work, because you did some really hard work. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Those need to be signed and pulled.
Okay, okay. Everywhere.
A lot of it was right back here in the kitchen and the storeroom and
Yes.
the bathroom. Yeah, that works fine. It was not out of order.
Inside the trucks.
Yeah, inside the trucks. Actually, the white ambulance that was parked there, a 55-gallon can came out of that alone.
The stuff that came out of the attic, chief,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
that was a good portion.
The attic was full of stuff that's not supposed to be stored up there. And
There were
we found a few things underneath.
There were appliances that
Insulation.
were totally ruined because of the mouse infestation that's in here.
But those weren't counted in the 7,000 pounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The stove was,
Yeah, the stove.
Okay, the stove
Yeah.
was there.
yeah.
Which caught fire when we turned it on.
After we got fire.
They roasted a mouse.
Our first fire, right?
So, anyway.
Okay. All right. I was able to attend West Mason's commission meeting tonight, and it was a very good meeting. I learned some things, and I want to thank Chief Welander and his crew for the wildland firefighting trip they just returned safely from. So, great skills and experience to add to our community protection. Thank you. Let's see. The next fire commissioners meeting is Thursday, September 5th at 6 p.m. And the last meeting, they asked us to bring a list of items that, kind of a wish list of things that we need. So I would like somebody, chief or someone come with me to that meeting.
When is that?
September 5th at 6 p.m. at Central Mason.
Okay.
The Miriam Knight School is having an open house on August 23rd, and I would like for the Fire District 12 to have a booth there to talk to people about our hall and volunteering and that sort of thing. They've asked us to attend, so We will be setting up a table there. That's the 23rd at 5 p.m. We are still working on inventory. That's a critical item for the Sheriff's Office and the FBI. We have, our cleanup team has done an excellent job starting that process. We have a few others to do still, but that's been challenging, but we are working on that. We also recently met with the FBI, so I just want folks to know we are talking to them. We are getting the information needed that they still need, and inventory is part of that. So if there's anybody that would like to help with some of these projects that we're still following up with, let us know. We'd be happy to have some folks helping. And I think the only other thing is, I don't want people to think we forgot about the nepotism policy. We will tackle that one next meeting.
Yeah, it's ready.
Oh, it is? Okay. So next meeting we'll be approving that. I'm anxious about that one because of how long it's taken. And that was one that the auditor's office requested that we, or not the state auditor requested us to do, so. And that's all I have. Commissioner Ingram.
Again, I echo Chairwoman Young's appreciation for all the hard, dedicated work of all the volunteers and Chief Brown under your leadership in order to make this place usable and serviceable as a fire station. Second, I'd like to say, when I first sat in this chair on 19 June of this year, the existing commissioners were establishing priorities, and one of those, as many of you have seen, was to obtain insurance for continued operations and training and allowing these kind of things to happen in here. And in our kibitzing, we kind of assessed that might take, if it were at all possible, 6 to 12 months. And here I sit 7 weeks later, and Chief Brown, you and your team have done yeoman's work to make that happen and accelerate our ability to provide services to this community. And I appreciate all of you and Chief, your efforts in that regard. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, Commissioner Purcell.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Thanks for all the people who've been scrubbing it. Anybody wants to know what it looked like in here, those pictures that I had on the whiteboards at the trifolds of engine 12.3, that's what it looked like. Those pictures are what everything in here looked like. So I appreciate, every time I drive by, there's somebody out here washing. I think the trucks got washed 3 or 4 times now, so that's great. It's great to see so many people with pride in taking care of the public's ownership and their vehicles. Also, I went to a meeting, I think it was a week ago, that the chief had with all the volunteers. He's working to get that team together and become not only just a team, but a family here at the fire district, and I appreciate that. He's doing a good job. So that's my comments for today.
All right, thank you. Chief's report. Chief Brown?
While I'm getting this, could you guys be signing that so we can
Yep.
use it?
Yep.
Okay, same thing. The people have been here every day. I appreciate you so much. And I've got such a great group of volunteers. There's 24 people besides myself. And, you know, that started when DEM helped us out getting this whole thing started. And so the appreciation starts with the 3 people back there, with John and Tammy, and what's that other guy's name? And Bob. Yeah. So they did. It was because of what they did that got us started.
Yes.
And that's when the community stepped up, and that same group is still stepping up. And the ones that have decided that it wasn't quite their thing, they're still stepping up because they're becoming part of the Firefighters Association, which is a tremendous help for us. Firemen's Association, excuse me. Thank you. So, thank you. There's been people here scrubbing, vacuuming, inventorying, Commissioner Ingram pitching in. Everybody's been pitching in, going station to station. Station 4 is our last stop, and there's a lot there, so. Beyond that, I went to DNR, I got called to come up to DNR this week. They surplused us some brand new hoses, brand new 2.5-inch nozzles. One thing I would like the commissioners to think about, maybe approve tonight, is, and it's not on your agenda, they've offered us like an administrative vehicle, a 2009 Jeep. What was it? What is it? Liberty. Liberty, with only 31,000 miles on it, that we could use for, the administrator could use for running back and forth to town. It could be used for taking people to training, whatever.
Wow.
It's free. They don't want anything for it. They just want to say DNR.
Wow.
So, they are, October, DNR's budget comes open. Or, not their budget, their, what's the word I want? We need to put in the application for the grant.
Grant.
And I'm gonna get help writing that for a DNR engine. He figures he's got 15 that they're gonna surplus out.
Wow.
PPE, I have a vendor showing up here on the 18th, and we're gonna discuss PPE of possibly doing a 5-year lease. So we'd do an annual payment for every year for 5 years, and then we'd have all the PPE paid off. It might be the way that we can get in there and not have to wait on a federal grant. We are in desperate need. We only have 6 sets of PPE that are serviceable. The rest are all expired. They can be used for training, but that's about it. So I'll keep you up to date on that. I've redone the budget. If you guys want to discuss the budget at this time, if you've all had time to look at it, I've revamped the budget that was here and made it
Yes.
more viable to what our needs are. We don't need 50,000 in the chief's wages.
I do have some questions.
Well, we do need that, but.
So again, these documents are on the website, and if you would like a copy before you leave, we can make a copy for you. But this is adjustments to the budget that Mike has proposed. And Mike, I did have a question on under the general fund, Springbrook, you've increased from 3,500 to 10,000.
Yes, we started their new program, which is all cloud-based. It's not on the hard drive, which is more expensive, but we're also paying hourly training. So 7,500 to 8,500 is probably our max that we will pay. But if we don't use all the training hours, it will be less. Our annual will be nowhere near that from this point on. It's just the initial setup and training.
Okay. And I think I know what this is, but I'm not sure. Verizon, you've increased from 4,000 to 15,000.
And that's that $11,000 that hadn't been paid for 5.5 years.
Okay,
So that's
the
covering
delinquent
that.
bill,
Yeah.
okay. All right, and then, and I think maybe you just did address the bunker gear
Yes.
from 500 to 25,000.
That's more to just try to get us temporarily.
Okay,
When I had proposed this budget, I hadn't spoke to Chief, who is it? Aaron, who's with who? C. Western, about the possibility of doing a 5-year lease.
okay,
So, but that budget was I
So-
mean, we don't have enough helmets right now, we don't have enough boots. We could probably get away with the gloves we got, we can get away with some of the older bunker gear for training.
And part of that is because the former volunteers never returned those items too, is that correct?
That I don't know. We don't know who
What
had
they
them,
had,
who didn't.
okay.
Yeah. There's no inventory that we have to work off of.
Okay. Let's see, I think I only have one more. Oh, under the EMS fund, real and personal property taxes went from 0 to 93,000. Can you explain that one?
She never even put the taxes into the budget. 93,000 is our estimated revenue for this year for the EMS levy, and she just never added it. It was showing zeros.
So that was theoretically hidden money. God. Okay. And theoretically, yeah. Okay, and then there's a transfer on here. Did you want to talk about that?
Yes, I would like permission, approval of the board to transfer 60,000 from EMS to general to cover the high apparatus maintenance and PPE costs that we're going through.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we transfer $60,000 from the EMS fund to general fund to cover apparatus repairs and maintenance and equipage.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, thank you.
Do you all agree with the budget? Are you willing to accept the budget as proposed,
Yes.
or do you want it? Okay,
Okay, so what we just did was the transfer. So,
yes.
I would entertain a motion to approve Mike's proposed budget changes.
Move we accept Mike's proposed changes on the budget.
I second.
Any discussion?
I think we have that.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay. Anything else you'd like to talk about, Mike?
The car.
The car.
Is that something I was looking at? We do have a policy on our use of our apparatus and vehicles. I will have that out again with any changes. It looks like it's pretty tight the way it is,
Okay.
but next week that'll be out.
Okay.
I do like the idea of having one that gets a lot better mileage than the command truck.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you guys going over to Spokane would be able to take that.
Okay.
So
All right.
with your permission,
Do
I will get it.
You don't need a motion, do you?
I preferred we did have one.
Okay. So I will make a motion that we authorize Chief Brown to proceed in obtaining this administrative vehicle from the DNR.
Second.
All in favor, or no, is there discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. And did you want to say something about the insurance?
Is that on?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is right there.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Okay, perfect. Sorry.
She's got her own very special.
Okay. Let's open it up for public comment. Anybody have anything to ask, say? Okay.
I've never seen a board do everything so correctly. I've never seen this door open. It's always a secret door. And I've never seen so many happy people in this building. I came to a lot of your meetings, and it's really awesome to see so many happy people in this room.
Thank
And I went to last month, I was at the Wainuchi open house, and they all lined up outside the building, and I got somebody's cell phone, took a picture. And I would love it if, when this is all over, if you, all of you could just step out and line up where all the trucks are, or in here, and I'll get one of your cell phones, so you can send it to each other, and I'll get all your pictures. This is a great.
That would be
community,
awesome.
And it's history-making group.
Yes.
And I'd love to do that for you.
Oh, that would be great.
Make a great duck boat.
So for those of you who don't know her, this is Pat Foster. I've known her for years. And she lives on the other side, on the Wainuchi Road. She takes the gravel road over here quite a ways to come to the meetings, so.
I had a sign in Dave Purcell's colors at the end of my road. We pulled them all and it blew down, but I just cleaned it out, the blackberries, and I re-put up matlockcommunity.com, so I see people stop there. I'm taking a picture so you can look up your business.
Nice.
Thanks, Matt.
And I just congratulate you all, what a community you are. You really got something to be proud of here. Really do.
Thank you, Pat. Anybody else? Bill?
Talking about doing an inventory of the things that are missing, and you probably have this, but it was taken up there by me, and I'd have to look at the pictures. We either had a compressor or a generator in there that wasn't in there after they got in and cleaned the SCBA.
Compressor,
Okay.
two-tank compressor, yes.
So I
That's
don't
been
know if that's
noted.
on your list or not.
That is noted.
Thank you, Bill. Anybody?
Laminator on that?
Did you want?
Yes. I have something to give to the fire department. This is from, he passed away a couple weeks ago. James Wellington Massey was a community member in this community, and he passed away, and this is just a start, but it's a donation for Fire District 12.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. $5,000. Thank you, Scott, so much. Thank you.
Very generous.
What a blessing. Thank you so much. Okay, anybody else? Any other public comment? We open it up and let you have it and you have nothing to say now. Ginny?
Did you get the mule back from the Wilders?
The what?
The mule quad? They
No.
purchased that to transport people from the woods. That was purchased for the fire department.
No, it's on the list of missing.
Thank you, Jenny. Okay. All right, then.
Was it the $11,000 that they never paid? Was that a cellular?
That was for government cell phone service that the, like the sheriff's office has it.
How come they weren't shut down or canceled or something?
That's what we
That was my first question. But they will never shut down a first responding agency, no matter how delinquent, because they figure we need that more than anything. So that was my question right off the bat, or why they weren't put into collections, and they won't do it. So.
Okay. Is there any unfinished business? I didn't have any. No? Okay. We'll move on to new business. We have a thank you letter to the commissioner from Yelm.
Not done yet.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody remember his name?
Yes. I have it written down.
Remember, it's like.
Apologies if you're watching right now.
I'm terrible with names from the get-go, so.
I know I have it written down, and I have
We will get that
emailed
out.
them a couple times.
This week.
So,
No, next week, excuse me.
okay. All right, next we have John Taylor from the Department of Emergency Management. John?
And say a few words for us.
So John just went, do you guys need him on a microphone?
I can talk loud. I've been trained to do that. I wanted to say that Washington State, by statistics, 73% of it's rural. And we tend to forget that.
because the Seattle's, the Tacomas, the King counties, the Pierce counties, and them seem to always have the limelight. But 73% of the state comes from a rural community. I've been in government 45 years. I'm 5th generation Washingtonian, 6th generation in Army. But that doesn't say where I'm from. I'm from Wakanda, Washington. So if you know where that is, it's between Republic and Tennessee. And it's been there a long time. And I grew up there with my family, which we're still there. And about the 5th grade, I went to a one-room schoolhouse that was in Wakanda. The Perry County and Okanagan County decided to redraw the lines. So they redrew the lines directly through our county, which did not make my father happy. Because that moved us from Okanagan County to Perry County. And my father, my grandfather's father were all from Wakanda. So now our zip code changed. Today we're still from Wakanda, even though our zip code is Republic. Because that's where we grew up, that's what we knew, that's where we're from. So I wanted to say that because it doesn't matter what happened, this community stood up. It did what it needed to do. And yes, there were people who did it to this community, but government didn't, because these folks here are part of government now. Our government is a reflection of those who serve it. And I say that because I'm proud to be a public servant. So I just thank you folks for giving us the opportunity to do what we do, which is protect. And it had nothing to do with who did it, why it happened. It was about protecting the people that were here and the outcome from years of whatever that was. So we thank you. We're getting ready to close it out. And I wanted to thank my staff because they held virtually every position in the incident command system. So there was a lot of overtime that went into it, but it was worth it and it needed to be done. And I can say to you that there are many things that have never been done before. First, we've never declared a disaster for a geographical location, ever. Not in the United States. It's always been done by a large area. We just did a portion of the county. 2, we've never done it for a failed fire district. It's always been for a natural disaster, which created a lot of interest because people said, well, can you do that? Well, absolutely you can, because what is it about? Protecting people. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be a failed water system. It could be electricity when you're on a life support system. It could be virtually anything. And for you, that's life-saving. And the law doesn't say one person is not as valuable as many people. What it says is people, which considers individual person, which means we need to keep that in mind when one person needs help. That's what we do. We help those people. Doesn't matter the number of them. So I would like to thank the commissioners as they stepped out on the line, because it's never been done before. And I can tell you, and I think Mike will agree, is that every term when we tried to do something to help this community, we were told we couldn't do it. It was against the law. And the reality is, it was not against the law. That's how we got emergency workers in here. That's how we were able to give you the time you needed to get your insurance together. So I say that because this was the first time a disaster declaration was done with stipulations. Because traditionally, they're an open check. Right person, right place, right time, blank check. That's not how this declaration went. We could spend no money. Because unfortunately, the fire district is a special purpose district created by the state and it's not part of the county, which creates some challenges. 2, we had to put stipulations in there that said that we couldn't deactivate until you got your insurance back. Because we needed to ensure that when we deactivated, you were stable enough, which insurance was that indication, so that we didn't deactivate and again, and so forth. And in that activation, I was contacted by 5 counties in this state asking for a copy of our declaration, which gives you an idea of how many other fire districts throughout the state are teetering on that point where they're wondering where their next money's coming from. And I think that's important to keep in mind. And I ask this community to continue to push forward and hold the state accountable for ensuring that fire districts, which is a right, exist. And that's important, because they're not all volunteering. And that's a challenge, because where I'm from, we don't have a fire district. So when something burns down, we have to replace it. We don't have EMS. We load people in trucks and we drive them into Republic, because that's where the hospital is. So I know what it's like not to have these services and know how important they are. And I just ask that you folks do the same, realize how important they are, and push forward the importance of them existing, and that life safety is every government's responsibility, whether it's local, county, state, or federal. Doesn't matter where you are in that system. So thank you for the opportunity. I hope we don't have to do it again.
So do we.
Amen. Thanks, John.
So, hi. I feel like I'm back with my friends. So before the legislative branch was stabilized, we had the county declaration. And I want to share some of the magic that happened. In 48 hours, there was that period of time that Matlock was completely uncovered, minus mutual aid coming in. So out of a community meeting, it was called the Armies. That was the first 12 or so. And the next day there was 14. So within 48 hours, and knock on wood, there was not a call for service. But within 48 hours, we had first responders responding for life safety purposes. Because that's the responsibility of the county. We don't own fire, but we still have that responsibility of life safety. So in those first couple days of training, FEMA is flexible and allows just-in-time training. And I assured, and we assured the folks that came to the Grange that we have some friends. And I was a little bit overwhelmed because we made one phone call to Chaplain Jim Potter and marched in every single fire chaplain in this county. I made one email to our 4 other CERT, Community Emergency Response Team, which is a federal program. We have 5 in the county. Made one email. We had leadership from all 4 of those CERT teams, along with the chaplain. And then we started just-in-time training, and you guys were responding to calls, and things had to happen very fast. It was value-based. It was kind of respond on the fly. We'll come back in training, do an after action on how we responded, how we're going to respond the next time. And out of, I'll say, our friends, I want to call out Al Worth, because he was literally my left wingman. Did a little bit too much typing as the planning section chief. We were kind of all over the chart. When things first happened, Sheriff, thank you for taking incident command. We had a retired chief, Mike Patty, that called up. What can I do? He was, FDE in 10 minutes. The organizational chart started to fill out. But I want to reintroduce Al Worth, because we had people from Harding, Pickering, Timber Lakes, and Al represents Footsburg Fire. So folks spent a lot of time, a lot of weeks, making their way out to Matlock, and I want to thank Al for all the help that he helped me, because I'm the training and exercise coordinator for DEM, everything else. But I want to introduce the new CERT manager for the Hood Canal CERT team. All right.
Dale, I shared my hamburger story before. I feel like, you know, I've been here for, what, 16 months? This is the first time I've had a seat. So I'm glad to be back with my friends, and I wish you good fortune.
Thank you, Bob. I have to say that I now know that Bob knows firsthand what a deer in the headlights looks like, because that's what I was when I walked into his office that first day. So I really appreciate all that you guys do, and I know our whole board does. Thank you for your help, because we could not have done it without you. Okay. We have a resolution for surplus next.
Yes, right here.
You wanna?
I can read it.
Yeah, go ahead, because I can't find
Okay,
it.
this is Mason County Fire District 12, resolution number 2024-6. A resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Mason County Fire District 12, Matlock, Washington. Adopting an agreement to surplus 2002 International Ambulance, whereas Fire District 12 currently has 2 ambulances, and whereas Fire District 12 only needs 1 ambulance. Now it be resolved that Mason County Fire District 12 Board of Commissioners agree to surplus 2002 International Ambulance at a starting bid of $20,000.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve resolution number 2024-6?
I move that we approve resolution number 2024-6 on the international ambulance surplus.
A second?
Any discussion? Which one is this?
The white.
The white and red one?
Now
Okay.
they're both white now.
Okay.
Are these certifiable?
Pardon me?
Are they certifiable when they, as an ambulance?
Yes. It has a few issues, but it is. We've already serviced it and brought it up to speed.
Okay. So no discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Well, this,
These are ambulances, but are they certified as ambulances for our district, or are they rescue rigs? Because you can't use them for you
They're-
can't use it for an ambulance.
that can be used by an ambulance by somebody else,
Yes.
and it is certified as ambulance for somebody else. For us, they would be certified aid.
Any other questions? Okay. All right, now we have Pam from Nicholson and Associates, our insurance person.
Yay, Pam.
There you go, Mike.
I tell you, Pam has worked so hard for us on getting this insurance. We're not even in her risk group anymore, and she still worked
Thank you,
around the
Pam,
clock
so
to get us in. We're now in the CIAW, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Which is out of Ephrata. And couldn't have done it without you, Pam. Thank you very, very much.
And I have to tell you that, we went to so many companies. CFIS would not write them, they canceled them. We went to Endurus, we went to even the non-standard market. We went to McNeil, ESEC. I mean, we had all the ones that white fire districts, and then we even went to our gas market trying to get, liability or anything. And I have to say that CIAW came in for you guys, when nobody else would. And Byron was great to work with. He did it. It took him a while because of all the issues that had gone on before. So, it was their underwriting team that took so long, kept going over and, what do we need to put in the policies or this or that. So, but actually they did really well on writing it, and it didn't cost an arm and a leg. We didn't know.
Came in cheaper than we thought.
Yeah, so it will renew in December, so they've because all of their policies renew December 1, so it will renew again, so it's just a short term right now, but you guys got coverage, you know?
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Pam.
I want to say, I was born and raised in Peel, so I know what a small community is like. And you guys have, it's just amazing what you have done, but I know the small communities do that too, because it happens in ours. You know, if somebody needs something, anything, then, you know, the community's right there for you. And you guys have done an awesome job getting this back to where it needs to be.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So CIAW is the Cities Insurance Association of Washington. And it's nice to have this in our hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am excited.
We are not going to have an executive session tonight, so we're going to move right on to good of the order. Does anybody have any good of the order?
When you talk about, someone that didn't want to be firefighters, but they wanted to join the association, and Bill and Ed can attest to it, when the fire department started, it was an association that worked their butts off, to bring money up to buy all the gear for the original fire department.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to help again, I'm just about done that. We
All
used to go
right.
house to house, we asked for $5.
Per family.
We ran a district on $60,000 or less, built 4 fire halls
Wow.
on that, and, I volunteered for 32 years, 33 years, something like that. And, I went to Olympia to meetings to learn to be to teach firefighting. A whole, spent a weekend over there. And, we were volunteers then, we weren't like they were, they couldn't even move down the road without charging the district for something, We were volunteers back then. And hopefully that's what it will come to again. They packed this house, completely packed it. Every year around November, they'd have put on a big dinner, potluck. And everybody dropped $5 for the association. They heard when they eat, they'd have to move for the next month. We had lots of tables and chairs back then where it was just packed. And everybody, the whole community cared about the fire department. I think it's going to happen again.
I'm hoping that we get information real soon on a new fire association. So all of you that are in this room, we hope that you will all be able to participate in some way or another when that comes to fruition. So thank you. Any other good of the order? We have cookies in the back when we're done, and coffee, and before I think we have another good of the order item, but before everybody books out of here, let's go outside and take a photo. But first, any other good of the order?
One more thing before we turn the floor over there. Feel free to get on the apparatus, look at it. It's not an off-limits thing. It belongs to you. So they've worked hard to get it ready for you guys to take a tour of. Take a tour of the station, whatever you want. No rooms are off-limits. The bathroom works.
Wipe your feet first, though. Yes.
Look nice.
So, I want to know, does anybody know the year built of this building?
The year it was built?
1969?
1969?
So the LNI called to ask our office for the year built. So we sent, we couldn't find any permits or anything, so I asked Bill Johnson. He said, don't build it.
Well, I found it in some
Yeah.
minutes or something somewhere funny.
So I told the lady I'd try to find out, so I.
Awesome. Thank you.
What did you find, Bill?
Well, I didn't find the exact date, but I found where they were having a dance at the Grange to raise money to build this building in 67, 68? That was June of that year. So I assume they started on it either that year or the next year.
What we found was 69. Between Pam and myself digging into it. So,
And speaking of the Grange, I want to extend our thanks for them allowing us to use their hall for us to hold our meetings all these months.
Training.
That was a wonderful opportunity to have that building to use. So I know Dale's here from the Grange, and I don't know if anyone else is, but we truly appreciate that, and we should send a thank you card. Teresa.
So I actually have something that's kind of off the subjects that we've been talking about, but it's been bothering me for a while.
Okay.
And that's the fact that we don't have phone service.
That we don't have what?
Phone service.
Phone service?
Anybody that has them around us that has CenturyLink, you don't have any phone service.
Oh, okay, yes.
And so what I'm worried about is the people that don't have cell phones, that need help, that don't have any way to call anybody to get help. I've been working with CenturyLink for months, exhaustively with 20 million different, it's going to be done by 8 o'clock days. And I don't know if there's anything that the commissioners can do, make some kind of statement or something to CenturyLink. But to me, it's a life safety issue.
Right.
And I've even said that to them. I mean, I've put in writing to them, this is a life safety issue for our area.
John Taylor, he can take it. No. No, just kidding, John. It is, it's a life safety issue.
If you're on any type of medication, medical device, things of that nature, that is a life safety issue.
It is. I didn't know
There
that.
are services that are available to them to ensure that they do have that ability. So,
Right, but I mean, if they're having a heart attack, they can't call for help.
absolutely. So if they do, those would be the ones we'd start with first, which are those that are on medical devices, medications that are at risk, because this community is considered at risk.
I've got maybe 2 of them in that category.
Okay.
You're talking about.
I know that through HIPAA, you know, that's confidential, but again, they're going to have to declare that they have those conditions so that, and they can receive free service.
Okay.
They did the same thing in PL. They just had phones for a week and a half.
Can I ask you a question?
No, you have a lifeline.
Just one at a time, please.
You know, if you have a lifeline, it's not gonna work because the phone isn't working.
Okay.
Exactly.
If our power goes out, like down by Chevy State Park, and we need an emergency, the phone company kept a battery-operated device outside, and we could call without power because it was a backup battery thing. I called the Utilities Commission and everything else because my partner at the time, she's since passed away, but you know, if I needed service, but sometimes we're out of power for a length of time. Anyway, you can't call on the phone now, and they will not replace the battery out. There's a cell or a telephone unit out by Shaver State Park, and they won't replace the
Well,
battery.
I would recommend that you go through Chief Brown,
Okay.
and he'll bring it to us, and because those requirements are still on the books.
I thought
It's just
so.
we forget about them because, oh, everybody has a cell phone. Well, not everybody has a cell
Well,
phone.
it's not that you don't have a cell phone. I got a cell phone, but I don't have cell service.
So it sounds like a two-pronged thing then.
But you have a paper. And if there's no service, then the reality is you have to have the service for the cell phone.
I mean, I can understand.
Yeah, absolutely, so we can work on it, that's something we can work on.
So, Teresa, maybe afterwards we can talk and we can coordinate with Chief Brown and John to see what avenues that we should approach for that. Okay, thank you for bringing that up.
Are those landlines? Because I have the landline on the Wainuchi, and when the power goes out, mine still works.
Yes, because we got a battery, they got, the telephone companies put a battery in for you, they won't put a battery in for us.
Oh, so I have a battery in my.
Well, it's not, it's wherever you're.
Well, it was since they get out now, whatever they call it. So we have a battery system in my.
Not in your home.
The landline is out. If you want somebody.
Okay. That's okay.
Okay,
That's
we have
okay.
one more good of the order.
Okay, listen up, folks.
Been a long meeting. I ask for a little bit more patience. I have a couple things to read here. First, I'd like to read the agreement that Commissioner Position 1, Cindy Compton, Commissioner Position 2, Nicholas Jones, Commissioner Position 3, Kelly Walsworth, signed on 5/19/24. This is the Mason County Fire District 12 Letter of Resignation 5/19/24. Out of caring and commitment to safety and harmony within our community, the last official action of these three commissioners will be one of unity. Together we desire our community accept this act as a measure of kindness, not division. Upon a motion and a unanimous vote by our three County Fire District 12 commissioners, we do hereby tender our resignations. Our resignation will be immediately following a unanimous vote in our open public meeting. We also each agree not to apply for any of these vacated seats until all three seats have been successfully filled through with the proper and in the proper and prescribed manner. Just in case you missed that, we also each agree not to apply for any of these vacated seats until all three seats have been successfully filled through the proper and prescribed manner. This vote is being taken unanimously as an example for our community that although we may have differences, we can place our differences aside for the benefit of all. We ask that you treat each other with the same consideration as we end this meeting and follow this example as this meeting closes. A little more patience now. This is from Fire Commissioner Dave Purcell to Mason County Fire District 12 Commission Board. Subject is resignation. First of all, thank you to Chief Brown and all the bust-ass volunteers that have made the recovery of Mason County Fire District 12 possible. We have a lot of hard work ahead of us as a fire district and community to be a fully functional fire district. However, we have come a very long way in 2.5 months. We have kept the cart behind the horse and have made it safely across the bridge. We are back on solid ground as a fire district with insurance coverage again. I would also like to personally thank John Taylor, Bob Burbridge, Tammy Wright, and Kurt Bennett for their help, especially in the first 2 days of Trina Young and I as new fire commissioners. The district was facing a serious emergency liability that first day. Emergency action was required and taken. When I raised my hand for this position, I knew we needed commissioners that were familiar with the situation at MCFD 12. They would also have to make quick decisions without concern for who gets the credit. I also knew we needed someone who would step aside when a more experienced person was needed for the district to become whole again. That time is now. At the adjournment of today's meeting, August 14, 2024, I will resign. However, I will not take my toys and go home. I will remain steadfast in my efforts and support for MCFD 12 and its community. I will not go very far away. I resign so as to allow the Fire Commission Board to appoint a more qualified individual, perhaps one that the voters of this district already voted on to this board 300 to 53 last November. Sincerely, Mason County Fire District 12 Commission Position 3, Dave Purcell. Thank you.
I'd like to say something.
Go ahead.
They've said a couple, 2.5 months, well, it's been like 3 years and 2.5 months.
Yes, it has, definitely.
He's been the push, but a lot of other people have done a lot of work. People in here that's never been recognized. Everybody has done their little bit, I believe, to make this happen.
You are so right, Bill. Thank you.
Yes, there's a lot of people that are not recognized that put in a lot of hours to get to here, that's for sure.
Okay, having heard that, I would, do I have to have a motion? I would entertain a motion to open this position, this vacancy for applications until the 28th of August at 5 p.m.
Second.
Madam Chair, I move that we open the position of Mason County Fire Protection District 12, seat number 2, to 5 p.m. On the 24th.
28th.
Excuse me, position 3.
28th.
28th, excuse me.
All right.
Well, I'll second that too.
You're not done yet.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carries. The applications will be available on the website. And you can also pick one up in the office.
Because we have a good secretary.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
And by the way, most of you probably have not met Val yet, but this is Val Chappelle, our administrative position.
And she even knows how to take roll call.
Okay, it is now 7:08 and meeting's adjourned. Go outside and let's get our picture taken.
Come back in for coffees and cookies. Coffee and cookies.